Obviously, the more accurate your condition and description fields are on your eBay listing, the better chance that a buyer will be pleased with his or her purchase from you. A lot of negative feedbacks and items not as described often come because the seller just was sloppy in sourcing or in writing a condition or a description. If you just say it's a used item that's slightly worn, that doesn't tell your buyer anything. And if you only take 3 or 4 pictures or 1 or 2 pictures or just 1 picture, you're just opening yourself up to all sorts of trouble. I know it means you might be able to manually list 100 items a day. You don't even need spadeberry anymore if that's all you're going to do. But I don't think you're going to have an account for long because you haven't told or shown your buyers the item they are thinking about buying from you. They're not inside your physical brick and mortar store looking at an item and feeling it and checking it out and making sure there are no rips. That's not what's happening. They need to simulate being able to do that. And that means you tell them everything about the item. Every little flaw you can mention, you should mention. I'm telling you, you'll make more money that way because buyers will think, well, she described all this. There's probably nothing else wrong with it. I mean, she took pictures of all the flaws. There's like 15, 20 pictures, every angle inside and out of this leather jacket. She talked about a small seam coming loose on the collar, things like that. The buyer might as well be in your physical store looking at the jacket because she's going to know that jacket. She knows exactly what she's going to buy. So be accurate and describe well. Now, how long should a description be? Your condition in your description should be as long as needed and no more. You don't want to keep rambling the way I do on these YouTube channels. You want to tell every detail that's needed in order to make an accurate purchase decision, and then that's it. List it. If you get kind of lazy or more realistic, if you just get tired of writing listing after listing, get Spadeberry. There's nothing like it. There's no competition to it yet. There will be someday. There's not yet, but by that time, Spadeberry is going to be even better. And I don't want to make this a channel about Spadeberry, but I use it constantly, and I find it notices things about a condition that I miss even after I took pictures of the item. But anyway, I want to talk about accuracy on 2 types of items, marble items and leather items. If you don't know if something is marble or not, but you call it marble and it's not, a buyer, a collector who buys it from you is going to be pretty upset. And they're going to do an INAD, item not as described. They're going to want to return it. If you have no returns, which would be pretty silly as a seller to have no free returns for many reasons that we've described throughout this whole channel. But if you do not offer returns, if you said it's marble and it's not marble, or if you said a jacket is leather and it's not leather, it's pleather, it's faux leather, it's not real leather, eBay will force you to pay for that return and refund the buyer. I guarantee you the buyer's going to give you a negative feedback, and eBay's not going to like the item not as described action that you caused, and they're going to put a mark on your account. Now, 1 mark isn't going to kill your sales, but 2 or 3 or 4, eBay's going to start limiting your sales and putting you way down in the search engine. You deserve to be punished for that. eBay wants happy buyers. You should want happy buyers. The way you do that is to spend a little bit more time to create listings. But I can help your accuracy while you're still at a garage sale or estate sale or thrift store, while you're still sourcing. Here are 2 giant tips that you've probably have never heard before. And that is, if you run across a vintage China foo dog statue and it looks marble, it's kind of heavy, hefty, I will say, but you don't really know if it's marble, or you run across a mid-century modern ashtray, like this old ashtray here that's a heavy marble ashtray. Things like this are really in demand. How do you know if it's marble? I'll tell you how to tell if something is real marble. It stays cool to the touch. It stays cool to the touch. Anytime you're at a museum in France or better yet, Italy, you'll walk through halls of marble halls, especially like I say in Italy, because Italian marble is the best marble on earth. And they just line the halls of all of their museums and nice buildings with this stuff. And if you touch the wall, it will not warm to your touch. You can keep your hand on there for 5 minutes and it will stay cool. Okay, it might warm up a degree or 2, but it basically stays cool to the touch. That is real marble. That's how you can tell if you pick up a vintage Chinese foo dog statue that looks like it's from the 1920s and it stays cold to the touch. That means it's almost for sure marble. You're safe to say marble. That's a little tip you should always have in the back of your mind. And when it comes to leather, how do you know if a bomber jacket is real leather or not? It looks like leather. How do you know? If you smell it and it smells like leather, that's a pretty good sign actually. Faux leather doesn't smell like leather generally, but who knows? Like a new car smell, they can make something smell however they want to make it. But how can you tell when you're sourcing and you run across a nice jacket that might be a leather jacket? How can you tell if it's leather? I'll tell you how to tell if it's leather. Leather stays warm to the touch or warms up very quickly. As soon as you touch very nice leather, often it just is kind of warm. It's really surprising. Or it will instantly warm up. You know, if you touch like a plastic water bottle that doesn't have anything in it, and it will be cool to the touch at first, and then it will, in 3 seconds, 5 seconds, it'll warm up closer to your hand's temperature. Leather is faster. Leather is almost instant. It just feels warm to the touch when you touch it. That is a good sign that what you're looking at is real leather. Some other fabrics sort of have that same phenomena. And also, a leather Bible doesn't necessarily do this, because there are all sorts of grades of leather. But in general, you get a nice looking bomber jacket and it looks leather. Just put your hand on it. Put your hand in various places and it should stay warm to the touch, warm to your hand immediately or within a second or so. And that is an indicator that is real leather. It's just something good to know. And also smell it, sniff it, do the sniff test. Real leather often maintains a leather-like smell for years and years. Vintage marble items are in demand. Collectors really like those. Leather clothing is always in demand. People really like leather clothing. Therefore, these two tips you should really add to your mental arsenal whenever you're sourcing. Real marble generally stays cold to the touch. Real leather generally stays warm to the touch or warms immediately. And in addition to sourcing more accurately and writing more accurate descriptions that actually say marble when you know they're marble, you're no longer doing the guesswork that can really hurt your account when you're wrong. Not only this, but I've just given you two incredible tips that you can throw out at the next cocktail party you attend. They're going to think you're a genius.